Already saw the lines before they hit the paper. Same ink, same hand. I saw the blip turn to a ghost before the jet even took off. The geometry never changes, just the names on the flight suit. Listen. Yeah. An American wing clipped over Iranian soil. A fighter jet down, the Gulf beginning to boil. One crewman pulled from the wreckage in the heat, but the second airman's ghost is still wandering the street of a search and rescue mission under a jagged sky. While the missiles find the grid and the power lines die, the US and Israel, they're hitting the base, striking the infrastructure, erasing the face of the Persian interior. And the retaliation comes in the shipping lanes, moving to the rhythm of the drums. One man home, one man lost in the sand, while the fire starts spreading across the palm of the hand. It's the geometry of the Gulf, the way the lines are drawn. A blueprint for the sunset, a blueprint for the dawn. We've seen the structure built 1,000 times before. Provocation is the key, retaliation is the dory. Drawing the maps while the ink is still wet. The incident is the prompt, the war is the debt. The war is the debt. Look at the CAD drawing, look at the ghost in the machine. They call it an incident, I call it a recurring scene. From the Tonkin Gulf to the tankers in '88. Operation Praying Mantis, the same heavyweight. You strike a power grid, you expect the sky to stay still? No, you're counting on the response to justify the bill. It's a design language used to negotiate with fate, rearranging the pieces until the sequence is complete. They don't want a piece, they want a regional redesign. A new set of pipes, a new extraction of the line. If you only watch the explosion, you miss the architecture. The way they use the blood to validate the conjecture. It's the geometry of the Gulf, the way the lines are drawn. A blueprint for the sunset, a blueprint for the dawn. We've seen the structure built 1,000 times before. Provocation is the key, retaliation is the door. Redrawing the maps while the ink is still wet. The incident is the prompt, the war is the debt. My grandfather told me the earth is older than the crown. The maps they draw in London and DC always fall down. Sykes and Picot, they sat in a room with a ruler and a dream. Now we use F-35s to stitch the same scene. They think they're building a temple out of cordite and lead, but they're just digging a basement for the rest of the dead. You can't pour a foundation on a shifting tide, and you can't hide the truth when the spirit has nowhere to hide. The lines they draw today will be washed away by the rain, but the people stay. The people always stay in the pain. So we watch the rescue and we pray for the missing soul, while the architects of chaos try to maintain the control. They'll call it a necessary response on the nightly news, but I've read the schematics, I've seen the types of screws. They're tightening the lid on the cradle of the world, while the flags of the empires are being slowly unfurled. One pilot is a tragedy, 100 strikes is a plan, tracing the historical blueprint across the span of a century of oil and a century of pride. The Gulf is the stage where the architects hide. The map is being redrawn. I saw it 3 moves ago. You're just arriving. Peace to the airman. Justice for the rest of us. See, man, the frequency